What's going on, Consciouztv, your favorite breakdown commentator? Welcome to another riveting episode of the Consciouztv platform. You already know what we're here to get into. Before we do so, please go ahead and run likes all the way up. You guys know that thumbing up the video not only helps with YouTube's algorithm, but more importantly, it triggers up YouTube's notification system. So when you are thumbing up the video, you are literally knocking on the digital door of another Consciouztv member and telling them to get their black asses into the sanctuary, because the Kang is in fact what? Kang Gang. If you also enjoy everything that Kang does here, you can always donate to the platform at $Consciouztv on Cash App and or paypal.me/Consciouztv. And of course, that's conscious spelled with the Z on the end, just like it is here on the channel. All donation information and social media handles are in the description box below, as well as scrolling at the bottom of the live stream from right to left in red and white. Also, make sure that you guys have your notification bell set to all so that you never miss a day or hour when the Kang is in fact Kangin'. And last but not least, please share the stream out to wherever it is you have digital community, whether that be your YouTube community wall, your Snapchat, your MySpace, the dark side of Twitter, Tumblr, or your personal OF. I don't really give a damn where you in fact lay the link. Just let them whores know that we're loud, live, and in color. And with no further ado, let's go ahead and push on through.
I know a place where you can recharge your soul.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
And in the midst of brokenness, he gon' see your asshole.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
You gon' heal, you gon' laugh and catch a little shade.
Ooh, girl.
Y'all know he be slaying, y'all better stop playing. Come hear what he's saying.
Ladies and gentlemen.
All right, what's going on, Conscious Crew? TGIF. Hope you guys are doing wonderful and are on your way to having a blessed, God-given, safe weekend with you and the childrens. Okay, we are here to get into some mess as always on a Friday, girl. We got a hot topics later on, etc. Child, you know we got the work, honey. Sherry says, "Oh my God, I feel spoiled because you're giving us back-to-back content." Y'all know, baby, when I'm on, and when I'm off, I'm off in this motherfucker. Okay, happy Friday to you all. So we got to come in and give some breaking news, girl. Major win for Cardi B, because a defendant in a litigation she won $4.1 million out of has just landed and scored a small milestone after being signed to a major brand development company in Tasha K's attempt to recover from a struggle brand that's on the verge of financial collapse due to that $4.1 million judgment from said rapper Cardi B, who recently won even more judgments against the failed blogger for violating their disparagement agreement, with talks from legal experts saying that her bankruptcy case might also turn criminal, okay, putting both the blogger and her wife Sheck at risk for imprisonment on fraud, girl. My God, today. So let's get into this major milestone victory for Cardi B, baby, who, as I told y'all, baby, she got Tasha K ass out here on tour, selling easy bake ovens, blogging, styling hair, selling pussy foam lotion. I mean, baby, she got it on her feet like an old nasty piece of indentured servant, child. Tasha K Inc.'s partnership deal with Wendy Williams radio and TV syndicator Oceanic Trade wins, okay? Coming out of the neighborhood talk, get in here for this. Tasha K signs with Oceanic Trade wins, the company behind some of the biggest names in urban media, including Wendy Williams, Ricky Smiley, Donnie McClurkin. The partnership sets the stage for what's ahead. Quote, "I'm genuinely happy to be partnering with a company I've admired since I came into the business," Tasha said. Party first spotted me on YouTube back in 2017 and took me to Gary, who I met 3 years ago. So this has truly been a deal in the works for about 3 years. If it wasn't for Rick, I wouldn't have met or become part of this incredible team. Now I'm working closely with Gary and Rick, and they're implementing a strong Salesforce team behind me and the brand that my team and I have built for over the last 14 years. This is just the beginning. Gary Bernstein, founder and president of Oceanic Tradewinds, said, quote, working with Tasha reminds me of when I worked with Wendy and syndicated her. That same star power, that same connection to the people. We're moving aggressively to syndicate Tasha nationally and globally. She brings reach, loyalty, and commerce backed by platforms generating between 150 to 200 million views per month across YouTube, Insta, TikTok, Facebook, Bigo, and more, all anchored by one of the most loyal fan bases in entertainment, the Winos. They don't just watch, they show up, they support, they convert. That's the kind of engagement advertisers spend years trying to manufacture. Legendary executive producer and voice-over icon Rick Party added, quote, when I saw Tasha K on YouTube years ago, I knew she had the it in lowercase factor. She reminded me of Petey Green, unapologetically Black, fearless, raw, and connected to the people. With that same conversation starting energy Wendy Williams brought to media. Love her or hate her, people watch, people react, people talk. That's the Tasha star power. More details for the first layer of Tasha's multi-stack syndication deal with Oceanic Tradewinds will be announced in the coming weeks. Tasha K will also headline the Everything Is Allegedly tour, a one-woman comedy tour across 16 cities beginning in September. Dates announced soon. All right. Now, for those of you who don't know what the hell Oceanic Tradewinds is, I went to their website, and this is a little bit more about them, okay? They are an international artist management and content creation company. The Oceanic Tradewinds is a full-service music and media powerhouse founded by media and music industry distributor Gary Bernstein, of course, a European man. With 25 plus years of experience in music, digital media, syndication, advertising, creator talent management, and touring, Bernstein spearheads Oceanic Tradewinds with a young and experienced group of constituents and masterfully creative professionals who are dedicated to the thoughtful brand development of international recording artists, content creators, comedians, and media personalities. Whether you are a podcaster, influencer, aspiring or emerging musician, stage artist, or just in need of music production, Oceanic Tradewinds is here to help you awaken the next wave of your brand development. All right, they have worked with everyone from Wendy Williams, Ricky Smiley, Yolanda Adams, BB Winans, TD Jakes, Rush Parr, Al Sharpton, Donnie McClurkin, Walt Baby Love, Roland Martin, and Baker Boys, and the world's largest mixed show network, just to name a few. As consummate deal maker, he even brokered the sale of Super Radio to Access One Communications for over $40 million. As the leading advertising executive in the Boston radio market for almost a decade at WEEI, Bernstein reinvented sports marketing and advertising with the Celtics, Bruins, Red Sox, and Patriots, with accounting for over 50% of the station's overall billing. Bernstein, along with veteran Atlanta and executive Johnny Dixon, recently formed the Creative Influence Shop to help serve the needs of companies looking for innovative, creative, and strategies linking personalities, influencers with new age marketing campaigns. Okay, so practically, girl, Tasha K's brand is in the goddamn dumps. But because she got those robots over there doing what they need to do with 200 million streams or views or fake clicks a month or quarterly or annually, etc., girl, She done partnered and begged this third-party person to connect her to this man to help her to recover and develop a brand strategy, especially since her ass just got taken back to bankruptcy court and her bankruptcy agreement is going to dissolve entirely because she breached the disparagement clause between herself and Cardi B, who also just won major goddamn sanctions and court fees and attorney fees and punitive damages from Tasha K and her attorney, and just turned around and sued the shit out of Tasha's wife, Shaq, as well, creating even more economic distress and tension over there in the Key yelling household, girl. So Tasha, of course, is doing what needs to be done, girl, to stay afloat, honey, okay? Because obviously with more expansion, she's going to be able to collect more ad revenue, Google AdSense. She's going to be able to embark upon more brand ambassador and sponsor deals. All that turns into chin chang because, baby, she's going to have to pay out that 4.1 plus million plus sanctions and attorney fees and have to deal with Cardi B suing the shit. More than likely also will be a verdict in favor of Cardi B, especially since they put the transcripts in Cardi B's lawsuit of Shaq admitting basically to embezzled mint. Shout out to Storm motherfucking Monroe, baby, okay? Admitting to all the fraudulently things, okay? So, baby, at surface glance, it must be really bittersweet over in the Tasha K household to have to work this hard. You know, this is why I told y'all she was out there wanting to break the chains, baby, because Tasha tired of shucking and jiving, baby, tired of driving that big wheel because it keep on turning. As long as she can't keep her narcissism under wrap and keep Cardi B off her ass. Now, she had some grace with the bankruptcy situation. All she would have had to do was pay up the 1.9 million in a 5-year period with $200,000 a year, $20K a motherfucking month, and it would have left Cardi B in a position to willfully walk away. But because she been playing her Ronnie Ho games with Cardi B ass and talking about everybody but Cardi B, such as Stephon Diggs, Offset, her baby daddy, so estranging ex-husbands, etc. Child, you know, Cardi B has relit the flame, and it looked like she's going for the goddamn gusto, and she want that lazy to put in prison. So the chains seem to only be just beginning. Now, I just could not imagine having to work this hard for someone else. Okay, if I'm working toward my own personal aspirations, that's one thing, baby. If I'm working hard toward my own dreams and the fulfillment of my own legacy, that's one thing, baby. But to have to get my ass up and turn cartwheels and to shuck and jive and moonwalk and to coangle everything I can, baby, to cover my household and to also pay Cardi B thousands of damn dollars a month and to run her ass millions upon millions of goddamn dollars over the course of years. I would have to be a goddamn wino too. I would have to be drunk. I would have to be a drug addict. I would have to have all type of tragic coping mechanisms because bitch what? Bitch who? Bitch what? Also, I was thinking when I got this news, it's interesting to me as we can hear in Bernstein's comments about the deal that's going to favor Cardi B because she's going to be getting her money in good time and in good faith, baby, one way or the other, baby. So Cardi B, this is why Cardi B didn't want to get this whole locked up, because she preferred this whole to sweat it out and have to run track and field for her money, because she knows that Tasha K would have too much fun in an all-women's prison, baby, especially when we know that she's a alleged big-shoulder, brolic-ass lesbian, okay? So, you know, Gary said in his statement, let me find it here, because there's some key indicators that are going to lead me right into my next sentiment. Okay, here it is. He said she brings reach, loyalty, and commerce backed by platforms generating between 150 and 200 million views per month across social media. You know what's interesting about Hollywood, about America, which is a dying BBL, by the way. And what's interesting about these systems, whether they are religious or quote unquote secular, they're really all one and the same under what we call capitalism. That Bernstein saw capitalistic potential in signing with Tasha K because her bots are running up 150 to 200 million clicks and views a month. Now, mind you, Bernstein is signing his brand developing company alongside Tasha at a time where she's still being sued for doing the most ratchetest, dark-spirited, ill-mannered thing she could possibly do with a brand, which is to use it to maliciously hurt and lie on another individual. And the interesting messaging about that is, for those of you who've been asking, when is enough going to be enough? When are tabloids, when are creators, when are influencers going to get their act together? We know that people done had 2, 3, 5, 6, 10 goddamn platforms clipped and still come back knucking and buffing and bucking, you know, for the suffering of it all. We know that people have been demonetized. We know people done been locked up. People done had restraining orders put on their ass. People done been killed over this shit. I mean, people have put it all out on the line to be a pseudo somebody via social media. And it seems like no matter the level of consequences, the Energizer Bunny just keeps going. And this is why, essentially, because we all know deep down, despite our ethics and personal morality, that we live ultimately in a system that rewards bad behavior, that rewards evil, unrighteousness, that rewards wrongdoing, ill-mannered. And as long as the system is capitalistic and is willing to bypass integrity and virtue and intent just to make a deal with devils based upon metrics and numbers while excusing personality, while excusing the condition of one's own soul, then ill-mannered, corrupted, bad-behaving people will continue to double down in their lunacy. I mean, after all, we are living within a system, right, that elevated, escalated, and empowered a 34-time convicted felon who was also found liable for sexual assault and made him president of the United States of fucking America. In the words of Childish Gambino, this is America, baby. The land of the brave and the land of the corrupted. I think that Bernstein absolutely obviously did not read the room, thinking that Tasha could be an asset to the culture when she is actually a piss poor and terrible reflection of the culture. If you're talking about a culture that lies, if you're talking about a culture that's predatorial, if you're talking about a culture that spreads disinformation and misinformation, who disregards people's mental health, who disregards people's reputations off the whim of empowering and engrossing their own wealth and relevancy, then yes, you get a Tasha K and you get a Wendy Williams. I've never been a fan of Wendy Williams either. I personally don't have a problem with gossip media. Obviously, I am a pop culture critic myself. I am a media personality myself and specialize in pop culture commentary, but I do that with a heavy sense of interest in facts, a heavy emphasis on interest with integrity and data, and try to put some emotional intelligence behind the way that I perceive events rather than have a shallow execution of my thought process and the power that I hold behind a microphone. So I'm not particularly a fan of people who disregard all of those things. And so for Bernstein to have a successful media and brand developing distribution company who has signed really notable people who have actually created a decent legacy for themselves, T.D. Jakes, Yolanda Adams, Donnie McClurkin, people who got it off the muscle of having an inherent talent and amidst all of the bullshit that Tasha K got going on with her shell companies and all this conversation around fraud and her being taken back to the courts and found liable for breach of a disparagement clause because this woman still cannot operate with any sense of integrity. It's pretty wild, but it's not shocking because this is the type of evil and the type of rot and the type of poison that capitalism opens the doors to. Now, capitalism isn't intended on being evil, but because it doesn't care about who people are, it ends up defaulting to allowing some of the worst of people to occupy positions of authority and power. So I find the messaging to be really disheartening, particularly at a time right now where we are fighting so many systems where the wrong people have been given access to the culture, have been given access to the resources of people, to see the trickle down effect bleed also into entertainment. And I don't give no fucks about Tasha K being a bald head, dark skinned Black woman and Black people should be happy. No, I'm not happy for every fucked up ass Black person that finds the most fucked up way to get up out of poverty or to get up out of low self-esteem or to get up out of childhood trauma by doing the most and harming other people just to get there. That is not something, in my personal opinion, that I will ever be celebrating or clapping for or etc. for. We literally have too many of these people in the fucking world to begin with, which is why the public is canceling almost every public figure, almost every musician, almost every network, almost every fucking corporation. Because what the public has come to realize is that it actually does prefer good and talented people to be in those positions, not just any old motherfucking body. Now, what we've learned through the attempt of cancel culture is that, my God, the public does prefer there to be some metric of virtue and integrity and character behind the things that make them laugh and the things that entertain them and the things that make them bankhead bounce, that people actually do prefer to receive their information, do prefer to receive their entertainment from people of good standing, integral aura and posture. And I love that for us. I love that for us. I love that we have come to realize that it does matter who's behind the microphone. It does matter who's in the recording booth. It does matter who's representing us, not just what they've come to represent with in their hand, but who their persons actually is matters. Now, in an era where the American people are sorting through so much disinformation and misinformation and being heavily propagandized, further platforming and attending to stretch the reach of somebody who has been proud to say that she doesn't give a damn really about the facts, who has went from dragging R. Kelly down by his penitentiary cornrows to then turning around after she's exploited the pain and suffering of his female and underage victims and use the same microphone to say that R. Kelly may be innocent. My God, to fucking day. To expand the reach of someone who was found liable for putting intentional misinformation out about another woman despite the psychiatric injuries that were being done to that individual, and this person had to put millions of dollars into suppressing this bitch's bewildering rhetoric on a microphone, partnering with someone who was proud to vote for Donald Trump, whose administration led to 300,000 Black women like herself losing their unemployment. Oh, can we talk about it? Because do y'all really want to wake it up? Do y'all really want to wake it up this morning, baby? Because see, baby, I'm not like these other people, baby. I'm not Hollywood, and I don't just cheer on any and every motherfucking thing, baby. If shit don't sit right in my motherfucking spirit, bitch, it don't sit right in my spirit. And I'm going to stand on righteousness. I'm for what's in the best interest of the people for real. So I don't cheer on every bitch's victory, etc. And I don't be giving no damns about whether it comes off like a hater or not, bitch, because the fact, a Black woman who built her brand off of the itchy ears of other Black women whose consumer base is mostly probably 80%, 85% Black women, bragged about voting in Donald Trump, whose administration led to the desolation of the job market, particularly for Black and brown people, particularly for Black and brown women, the same women that are responsible for giving Tasha K a brand that can be signed to Oceanic Whirlwind or whatever the hell it's called. 300,000 Black women pushed out of the workforce in just 6 months. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics say that more than 300,000 Black women left the workforce in the first half of 2025, one of the steepest drops since the COVID-19 crash, worse than the 2008 financial crisis. In February alone, Black women lost 266,000 jobs, the sharpest single-month decline of any group in the country. This is happening at the same time the doors at the top are barely open. Black women hold roughly 7% of C-suite seats by the most generous count under 2% of federal data. The 2025 Fortune 500 had only 2 Black women CEOs. In 70 years, only 5 Black women have ever run a Fortune 500 company. More Black women have flown to space than run one today. The losses hit hardest in government, where Black women in federal jobs fell nearly 33% against a 3.7% drop for the federal workforce overall. Federal work was one of the most reliable paths to stable, well-paid careers for Black households, and the Doge layoffs took an axe to it. At the same time, corporate America quietly gutted its diversity commitments and cut partnerships with Black-led organizations. The latter got pulled upright as Black women were climbing it. The talent did not disappear. It is being discarded. And this is who Tasha K voted for, because she was delusional to look in the mirror and believe that she's a 1% and thought about only herself and her bottom line, like most successful public figures do, who will grift off of poor ass Black and brown folk, poor ass minority people at the bottom of the pyramid to leverage themselves and then leave your ass for a white girl. And of course, it would be a white man signing a poisonous, cancerous ass heathen, godless heathen, like Tasha Coochie K. Okay? Despicable. And I completely understand why people, especially also within a culture that's heavily sensationalizing violent content, Zeus Network, bad boys, baddies, bad girls, now that's TV, etc. I mean, we're living in a very low vibrational period in American history, baby, and the shit is hitting the motherfucking fan, and it's all coming the fuck down. And the enemy and the devil and his cohorts are engrossing themselves, enlarging themselves, and the people are left to contend with whether they want to peacefully protest or burn this motherfucker down to a crisp. It's a shame that Mr. Bernstein has an elevated company that has platformed most talent that tend to have a gospel legacy, sprinkled about with a few messy hoes like Wendy. And now Tasha K. It's seeming to lack congruency, but I know on the back end, Cardi B must be rubbing her motherfucking feet and rubbing her hands like Birdman, baby, because, you know, once again, Tasha K out there motherfucking working, baby. And she really don't got no choice but to, considering that she is about to be responsible for the entire 4.1 million, regardless of what happens. So this is interesting. It's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of conversations that can be had out of this. I'm going to read some comments right now. I think we'll get her money now. Pesos by Stevie. Speaking of reality TV, please tell me everyone saw where your hard-earned taxpaying dollars is going to this UFC cage that will be built outside of the White House. Yes, a mess. Trash a baby. Do what you have to do. Just pay my good sis. This been the play for all of them. Absolutely. What's going on, Jeremy? They give you what you want if you pretend to be with the people while selling them out in the office with them saltines. She doesn't care if only she would have kept her mouth closed and apologized. She would never be in this position, but she will still not keep it quiet. And I can't wait for Maddie to absolutely gag her. And won't, because as long as the system rewards ratchety, y'all are going to see people on demon time, and there won't be nothing that can stop them damn demons but death at goddamn self, because the system is the thing that's egging and inviting and inspiring this ratchetology in the world. Because as Bernstein said in his comments, baby, he see the 150, 200 million robotic streams that bitch does a month. So his capitalistic eyeballs are falling out of his skull, baby. Okay, he don't give a damn about whether this bitch is a misinformation spreader. He don't give a damn, baby. If she is a cancer to the culture, girl, all he see is numbers. And in the world of capitalism, it's all about the moolah, baby. That's the toxic, masculine, cold-hearted, dog-eat-dog nature of America's business model. And this is why there's going to be an overwhelmingly lot more terrible people in the world than there are good people, because there's not much to gain from being a good person. And that's really tragic and really unfortunate to say, that there's not much gain to being a good person. Whether you see it in your own anecdotal life, where you see bad behaving people rewarded so terribly, have the red carpet rolled out for them, etc. Girl, see all the things being given, or whether you see it on a large systemic level like this, the president of the United States being a child sacrificing, satanic, woman abusing fraudster. It doesn't really pay to be a person with humility. It doesn't really pay to be a person who can be trusted, and a person who creates safety, and a person who does what they do with some lick of responsibility and intentionality. This is the sad reality of the world. And I don't know how parents are going to, I don't know what they're going to teach their young people about the nature of being in this world and the reality of being in this world. There's been more awful people than good, and it's going to be a sweeping more amount of zombies than there are sentient, decent human beings in the world, unfortunately, because once again, the system is arousing this and inspiring this and compelling this. It's rough. It is. It's terrible. It's terrible. It does pay for personal integrity where their convictions are invaluable and can be sold for a coin. And that's most other spaces in the world. That's what we're talking about when we mean the system. What incentive do you really have to be a good person when being a treacherous, dark-hearted, attention-seeking, by any means necessary, get it, narcissistic, self-obsessed person is more likely to actually make it, because the system is actually created by those people. They created the rules. The system is a reflection of its gatekeepers. And that's why, the business model of America has always been considered to be hyper-masculine and to be immoral. This is what gave birth to the red casting couch and the 360 deals in the music industry and the exploitation of these political and entertainment systems, leaving behind more people who have trauma as a result of good people having trauma, trying to make it in the world sincerely and genuinely, and getting swallowed up, chewed up and spat out, and chewed up and spat out again. I think that Lauryn Hill just recently came out and basically talked about something similar as to why her ass, never re-entered the industry, etc. And baby, it's a wild time to be alive. It is a really, between the shit that's happening politically, the shit that's happening socially, this made a shift that we're seeing this growing tension and darkness that is eclipsing the nation, the type of content that's at the forefront, baby, it is a very, very interesting time to be live. Well, I understand what you're saying, Styles. CTV, okay, should have got this opportunity because she's unworthy. And this is the thing. Because of who I am, I would prefer not to get these type of opportunities. To be honest, I couldn't even respect working up under someone like Bernstein, knowing that he doesn't care really about the culture. He's only about self-advancement, and that's why he only cares about the numbers. Interestingly enough, he talked about the shallow attributes that she has that he can benefit from as a high-end successful brand, but cared not to consider the way she's used those perceivable gifts and talents, aka to spread lies, aka to maliciously target and hurt other individuals. The fact that this woman has put her entire household in danger because of her fuckery and foolishness, definitely given mental illness and personality disorder of some kind. You know, we're going to need a medical doctor to please stand up, girl. Okay. I'm not attracted to these systems. That's why y'all don't see me on red carpets. Y'all don't see me auditioning for movies, sitcoms. If I showed y'all my emails right now and all of the brands that have contacted me over the course of a decade to be endorsed and to partnership with them, if y'all have seen all of the media passes that I have been afforded the opportunity to have to go support this person, to go attend this concert, to be flown, I had to be flown out there. I'm so not attracted to this system. This kind of is my motivation for even talking about pop culture, because it gives me the opportunity to talk honestly about the system and to really show y'all the buffoonery and the fuckery and the shallowness and the materialism of the system. I could never feel comfortable, incubated, and nested within Hollywood. I know the price that everybody has had to pay to have any level of success in Hollywood, and I'm not busting hell wide open for a Klondike bar. It don't mean nothing to me regarding the way that people are valued within entertainment. It's very much so, what's the best word I can use? Objectifying. The industry is all lust, no love. That's why somebody just came out the other day. Somebody just came out, and I sent it to myself. I'm going to talk about it. Somebody just came out, one of these podcasters, a public figure, somebody just came out and spoke about how fake the relationships are in this industry. It's all synthetic. It's all plastic. You know, it's the land of make-believe. And you are as valuable as your relevancy. It's heavily competitive because nobody has a solidified spot, which is what creates the ruthlessness. What it strengthens the gatekeeping phenomenon. This is why people like Nicki Minaj and Akbar V are sitting here beefing with a 19-year-old up and coming Charleston, South Carolina rapper. Because that's how fragile everyone's spot truly is. And everybody who's in the industry to any degree, which is barely or successfully, knows that the shelf life of your success literally is moment to moment, day to fucking day. So everybody's fighting for their fucking life. And this is why so many of these public figures are on drugs, are out of their fucking minds, are narcissists, are alcoholics, are pill poppers and powder heads because of the stress of windmilling and fighting for your fucking life and constantly selling your fucking soul and slitting other people's fucking throats and standing on top of other people's bodies just to get to where you is. It will cost you your self-esteem. It will cost you your spiritual integrity. It will leave you swallowed up in an energetic pool of guilt and shame because of the dirty, grimy, fucked up ass shit that you know you've had to do and have to continue to do to be where you are. The way that you don't get to humanize other people nor get to humanize your motherfucking self, all for a doggy treat, all for 6, several, 8 figures, baby, is treacherous. And there's not one entertainer that I know personally who is actually happy. Not one. They all got issues out of the woo-la. Personality issues, emotional motherfucking issues, economic motherfucking issues, issues on issues on issues, issues on issues. And none of them actually are actually good people in all actuality. Nice people, but being nice is very different from being a good person. I don't know not one good celebrity. I don't know not one good person in media. I know nice and friendly people. I don't know a good person. Not one. It's a tragic system. Let me scroll down. Yep, really. Makes me wonder, was this for $1 million of humiliation that she had to do? No, because the opportunity really goes to Cardi. The win is really for Cardi. I told y'all that bitch is mad because Cardi B got her working 7 days a week, all day, all night, baby, flying to and fro the earth to collect the check, girl. $20,000, and that's $20,000 per quarterly review. So Tasha is going to have to actually pay more money out to Cardi as time plays out, because the bankruptcy agreement is for the monthly payments to go higher and higher and higher and higher and higher, eventually concluding after a 5-year period to 1.9. But because of, you know, all of the issues with her breaking the disparagement and how angry the judge is at Tasha K, now her bankruptcy is completely subjected to complete and utter cancellation. And even with the bankruptcy, Cardi B only had the option to walk away after the 1.9 was fulfilled. She was within her legal right to still pursue the remainder of the debt. But now Tasha got even more goddamn debt, because remember, she was found liable for violating the disparagement clause, and now Sheck is also being goddamn sued. And so, you know, Tasha got bills, mounting bills. And so obviously stretching out her brand and elevating her visibility puts her in more positions to make the money that can go toward paying this debt. But she's got a lot more issues now than just satisfying Cardi B as a debtor and as a collection agency, because she literally committed bankruptcy fraud, and her wife Sheck admitted to it. And now this case can turn criminal rather than just remain civil. So now the bitch's entire freedom is at risk. While a branding development company would think that Tasha is that there's a redemptive arc in her brand at a time like this where the bitch may be going to prison. Once again, Bernstein said it in his own words, girl. He's seeing numbers. That's about as short change as his integrity goes, girl. 150 to 200 million robots, okay? Running them strings up. Okay? Bernstein, capitalistic eyeballs, once again, are bulging outside of his goddamn head, shy, because this is the nasty, guttural, hellish, demonic-ass, satanic realm of capitalism, girl. It don't care. It don't care, baby. It will make it will give anybody power, girl, from Donald J. Trump to George W. Bush Jr. to Suge motherfucking Knight, baby. The P motherfucking Diddy, honey. They don't give a damn. They don't give a damn. Capitalism is responsible for why a lot of terrible people have a lot of money, have a lot of social equity, have a lot of visibility in the world. It's sad. Do you think Sheck likes the drama too? From what I've been told that Sheck is the polarity of Tasha, that he's the quiet, sensible, reasonable one who doesn't like the drama, that he apparently tried to talk Tasha down when she was going in on Cardi B, was wanting her to take down content. He was the one that was wanting to respect the cease and desist that Cardi B sent. So he's always been narrated as the reasonable part of Tasha. It would look to be that it's two opposites. But then fast forward, when you see that Sheck sat in bankruptcy hearings admitting that he also participated in discarding court orders, discarding the judge's orders, that him and his husband, Tasha, intentionally sought to create shell companies and to hide money and assets and to evade this judgment, considering that he has remained married and in coven to Tasha, despite all that her behavior has costed their family, their reputations, potentially putting their lives in danger as well. I think that Sheck is ultimately the same side of the same coin of Tasha. You ever see the friendship groups where like those like really nasty, shallow, contentious, problematic friendship groups, and there's always like the outward bullies and the outward mascots of the friendship group that are just loud and boisterous, and then there's like that one quiet person who's in the group. Now, comparatively speaking, you would think, well, damn, why is the quiet person there? They seem to be completely like, opposite of everything that they are following up with in their group. But then you learn in time, bitch, that's just the quiet part of the evil. It's not that bitch being quiet is some type of a measurement of them being good and being of a good standing character. That's just the quiet part of the evil. That motherfucker just is toe up and dark and ring to-ish as them outward evil motherfuckers are. Okay, so shit to me is just a quiet part of the drama, but the drama nonetheless, with the shits and the giggles and the shit show of it all, nonetheless, Tasha just gonna take all of the heat for it because she wears the bullshit on her sleeves. Sheck wears the bullshit in his heart. Let me see. If my wife almost bankrupted us, and not almost, baby, they're bankrupted, I'd hide money too, not gonna lie. Look, hopefully Sheck is smart enough, girl, to have some type of a damn what you call them accounts, girl. Hopefully he's smart enough, child, to have him an exit plan, because he'll be stupid not to. How Sheck lives with madness is mind-boggling. It ain't madness. Him and Tasha are one and the same, baby. That's why they were able to come together and be married in unholy matrimony. He with all that. Not to mention that Trash is going to be limited to what she can say. That's another thing. I wonder what the liability bleed over is going to be. Because to that point, is she going to be limited on what she can say, what she can do? And then when these celebrities continue to hit her ass with the 1-2-1-2 regarding the lawsuits, I wonder how much of a liability is that going to be for Bernstein's company. It's going to be interesting to see how that works out. She also said that she stayed away from signing because she didn't want to give up her freedom. I'm sure that would be a conflict. Well, you guys remember now, some of those things that Tasha said earlier on, though, in the beginning, she's probably softened up to because she needs the money more than ever now. So she's probably willing to give up her voice. She's probably willing to be censored to a degree because that bitch needs the coin. She's got mounting debt with Cardi B alone. She knows she's at risk for losing her bankruptcy, which will, once again, put her indefinite to pay out the whole 4.1, plus on top of the sanctions, court fees, all of that she was just found liable for as a result of violating her disparagement agreement with Cardi. And then now they have the added debt of Cardi B suing the shit out of Shaq, which probably is going to be a favorable judgment for Cardi B, which is going to result in another outstanding fucking debt. So I'm sure that all that hooping and hollering about her wanting to keep her voice and this, that, and third, she's been deeply softened up to now because of the circumstances. So she really does need this win. And it really is Cardi B that's winning in all actuality. So shout out to Cardi B, girl, for the milestone. She can say whatever. She just has dumb lawyers. Trash are going to end up in conservatorship like Wendy, girl. Ooh, girl. Not the conservatorship curse. Jesus. Harvey is over there talking shit, but Trasher has trust funds. Child. Who's Harvey? Harvey over there talking shit. I don't know who Harvey is. Let me see. Let me scroll up. Yeah, SIS. The J literally stole from Mayweather and used Trasher as a mouthpiece to clown him. That lady is in a bind like most celebs when they find themselves caught up. They sell themselves for the least in order for the enemy to maximize the damage in the communities. Yep. They quickly to call you anti-Sam when they are brutalizing ethnic. Okay, yeah, I can't say some of them words. Shy. CTV, you are a person of integrity and honesty. I love that for you. Baby, you know what? That's about being clear about what the fuck you're going to stay away from. You can be of the world, but not in the world, right? So it's a whole life diet, okay? Because this world will try to vacuum your ass in, baby, real bad. That's right, outside the people's court. Oh, the people's court. Okay, got it. Got it. All right, I'm out. I just wanted to report that to you guys on this God-given Friday. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Friday. Tell me what you guys think, girl. Are you happy for the head wino baby to have gotten an opportunity to amplify her brand visibility, etc.? Do you think that this is a wrong move for the culture? You give me all of your personal thoughts. These are all my personal thoughts, okay? Thumbs up, share. You guys already know what to do. If you enjoyed the can, you can always donate to the platform. All donation and social media handles are in the description box below. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.